This man owns 12 businesses. You would never know it. His car is 10 years old. He lives in an apartment building because he owns the building. This morning, before his coffee was ready, $38,000 was deposited automatically. No calls, no meetings, no one even knows his name. Here is exactly how that works, and why staying invisible is the most important part of the strategy. Watch his story closely, because hidden inside it is a blueprint, one that anyone with patience and the right eye can follow. The woman behind the register has seen him every Thursday for 2 years. She knows his order before he opens his mouth. Medium roast, no sugar, room for cream, he never actually adds. She thinks he works in insurance. Something about how he always checks his watch twice before sitting down, she mentioned once. He smiled, said, "Close enough." He finds his usual seat near the window. Not the best view, not the worst, just familiar. His jacket goes on the back of the chair. His phone goes face down on the table. It buzzes almost immediately. Portfolio update. Automated. 18 commercial storage units across 2 facilities in the Midwest just completed their monthly billing cycle. $38,400. Collected, reconciled, deposited. No disputes. No late payments. Nobody called him. He picks up his coffee. Outside, a delivery driver is double parked arguing about a parking ticket. 2 women walk past laughing. A kid on a bike almost clips a food cart. The city does what the city always does. He fits into none of it in any visible way. That is not an accident. If you want to understand how this happened, you need to go back 14 years. There is no dramatic moment, no inheritance, no lucky break. Just a Thursday afternoon in the parking structure of a regional healthcare clinic where he had just finished a job interview for a position he did not get. He was 29, working a data entry role at a logistics firm. $612 in savings. 3 years of telling himself he was building towards something without being able to define what that something was. The parking structure charged $4 per visit. 2 attendants in a small booth. The card payment machine had an out-of-order sign taped to it, masking tape that had clearly been there for weeks. A handwritten note beneath it, "Sorry for the inconvenience, cash only." He paid his $4, walked to his car, sat in the driver's seat for 20 minutes without starting the engine. He was doing math. The thing about small, overlooked infrastructure is that the people who own it are almost never paying close attention. He spent the next 6 weeks reading everything he could find about parking facility management, revenue structures, and equipment leasing. At night, at his kitchen table, with whatever food was cheapest that week, he joined 2 online forums, maybe 300 members total, mostly small operators, nobody glamorous. He took notes in a spiral notebook. He found a small surface lot near a regional hospital managed by an elderly couple for over a decade. Outdated equipment, faded signage, pricing unchanged for years. The husband had recently had surgery. They were tired. One conversation, 55 minutes. He mostly listened. Operating rights, $11,000. He borrowed 9 of it from his cousin Marcus, who thought he was covering rent. Upgraded the payment terminal, revised pricing not aggressively, just accurately. Signed a contract with a local management company to handle everything on site. First full month, $2,140 net. He stared at the number for a long time. Then he called Marcus about the repayment plan. Didn't explain why he suddenly had money. Marcus didn't ask. Here is the thing nobody explains about wealth that compounds quietly. It doesn't feel like winning, it feels like waiting. And most people cannot tell the difference between patience and passivity, so they quit right around the time things are about to start working. Year 2, a second parking facility, found through a county tax records search on a Saturday morning while everyone else watched football. Acquisition cost, $17,000. Monthly net within 60 days, $1,800. Year 3, a self-storage facility. 44 units in a town 30 minutes outside the city. Previous owner kept books in a physical ledger. His name was Leonard. He sent a Christmas card that first year. The man still has it. Year 4, 2 more parking lots, a commercial laundry operation, a stake in a vending route. None of it made news. None of it required quitting his job before the numbers justified it. He just kept showing up, kept reading the documents nobody else read, kept calling the people nobody else thought were worth calling. Stop here, because this matters. There are people watching this right now with an idea that feels too small, a single rental unit, a small service contract, something unglamorous that most people would scroll past. Take out a piece of paper, because what comes next is arithmetic, not inspiration. A modest self-storage facility, 60 units, mid-market pricing generates $4,000 to $6,000 per month net. Call it $4,500 to be conservative, $54,000 per year. A well-located parking facility in a mid-size metro generates $1,500 to $3,000 per month. A small commercial laundry under a service contract produces $2,000 to $4,000 monthly with almost no daily involvement. Stack 3 of those. By year 4, $8,000 to $12,000 per month that doesn't require answering a phone. $96,000 to $144,000 per year. From 3 unglamorous assets nobody at a dinner party will ask about. This is not a projection. This is arithmetic. Available to anyone willing to be patient and unbothered. 2 streets from that coffee shop there is a dry cleaning business. Family-owned. 3rd generation. 3 months ago, he noticed the posted hours no longer match when it's actually open. 2 months ago, the exterior paint started separating at the corners. Last month, the owner, Margaret, mentioned her lease renewal is coming up, and the landlord is, direct quote, not easy to deal with. He hasn't said anything to anyone. He is simply watching. He has a contact in his phone saved as Dry Clean M. There is a version of this story where he calls her next week. A version where it goes nowhere. A version where it becomes one of the cleaner acquisitions he's ever done. He doesn't know which version yet. He just knows that most people walked past that door and saw nothing. He did not. The net asset figure crossed $920 million on a Wednesday. His accountant sent the quarterly summary at 4:44 p.m. Subject line, Q3 reconciliation. No commentary. He was at a hardware store. Standing in the paint aisle choosing between 2 shades of off-white for the bathroom in one of his units. He read the message, looked at the number, stood there for a moment in the way you stand somewhere when something large and quiet has just happened. He bought the paint, the slightly warmer shade, drove home, made dinner with whatever was in the refrigerator, ate standing at the counter. He did not call anyone. This was his not in a possessive way, but the way a thing you build yourself belongs to you at a cellular level, regardless of what anyone else thinks. He thought about a 29-year-old sitting in a parked car doing math he wasn't sure made sense. He thought he had no idea. He thought every single quiet evening was exactly right. It is Thursday morning again. His coffee is in front of him. 31 storage units billed automatically overnight across 2 states. A parking facility collected its daily receipts at midnight. A laundry service route ran its weekly cycle. His phone has 4 items. A message from his property manager about a water heater. A note from his accountant on a depreciation schedule. A forwarded inquiry from a broker about a small commercial cleaning company, 61-year-old owner, built it over 19 years. Listed quietly, not publicly, because he wants the transition handled carefully. He adds it to his notes app. 11 entries now. The woman at the register glances his way. He holds up his cup. She starts on the refill. She has no idea he owns the building she's standing in. She knows him as the person who comes in every Thursday, tips well, and always looks like he's thinking about something far away. He is. He opens his notebook. The page is blank. Everything interesting starts there. Most people walked past that parking lot, past that storage facility, past that dry cleaning door. They were looking for something that looked like wealth. He was looking for something that looked like nothing. That is the only difference. Not timing, Not talent, not a lucky break. Just the ability to see value where everyone else saw ordinary, and the patience to let it quietly become extraordinary.